Fashion always goes out of style. It's designed to, but style never goes out of fashion. Have you heard that? So what's your style versus why do we want to be in fashion? Because if you dress to be in fashion, then there's surely going to be a time where whatever's in fashion doesn't suit you. So I'm a very old lady who's lived through all the different phases of fashion. And I learned a very long time ago that A, I'm not going to wear clothes that don't suit me. Why would you? And what is your own style? Because style doesn't go out of fashion. But I don't want somebody else's style either. So how do you design the way you look, the way you present, the way you want the world to see you? How do you make sure that that's exactly who you are? And I was taught this a very long time ago. One of my personal results coach clients was a top fashion designer. And he shared this beautiful thing. And in fact, there's two, but the first one was that you have to create your own style. Once you know what those words are to describe you as a person, make sure you dress that way. So at 18 years of age, the 5 words I came up with were tough and fair, positive, stylish, disciplined and professional, which is technically 6 words. But that means that's your style. You create the clothing that you wear, the way you present yourself, everything about you is those words. So if you haven't got a way to describe you as a person, could that be a great place to start? But he said it beautifully. When you go to buy clothes, or if somebody designs clothes for you, they should ask you, who are you? What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What do you want to represent when you go out into the world? And that's the way you dress. So who are you, and dress that way. Now, tough and fair, positive, stylish, disciplined and professional were my words. But the stylish, very importantly, is not somebody else's style. I don't want to dress like somebody else. I want to have my own style. Now, the other thing he shared that I thought was brilliant is that everything in your wardrobe should make you feel fantastic. So everything you go and pick to put on, winter, summer, spring, fall, autumn doesn't matter, you put that article of clothing on and it makes you feel fantastic because it fits you, it is you because it's your style, and you only have it in your cupboard because when you put it on, it makes you feel great. And that means perhaps once a year, or 2 times a year, you go through your cupboard, and if you try something on and you don't like the way it looks and it doesn't make you feel good, it's not like, well, I'm going to fit into this later on. As women, it's funny because I've had a lot of women in my life who share that. They say, this is my skinny clothes and these are my medium clothes and these are my fat clothes. Well, here's a great idea. Pick a size, pick a weight, pick an energy level, whatever you want to call it to describe the way you want to feel, and stay that way for the rest of your life. So tough and fair, positive, stylish, disciplined, professional, obviously my words, I want to dress that way, and that's then an easy decision. Will I buy this outfit? Will I invest money in this presentation? Would a tough and fair, positive, stylish, disciplined, professional woman wear this? If the answer is no, then I'm not going to do that. Then money is very important because you can always make more money, but why would you waste money on stuff that isn't nice? So there's another great suggestion by top fashion designers or top stylists is that invest in good quality, because then you don't have to buy clothes very often. Now, the reason it seems that people want to buy clothes very often is that clothes go in and out of fashion, and I can't wear that now because it's not in fashion, but I can wear it next week because the fashion will change. And now fashion, if you go to the top designer houses in the world, fashion changes 4 to 6 times a year. That's a lot. And I've gone through them all. High-waisted jeans, low-waisted jeans, mini skirts and long skirts, cloggy heels and thin heels. I've been through them all because I'm an old lady. And I love it because I just wear clothes that I like, that suit me, that suit my style. And I always have a giggle because often I get both comments. Someone will say, oh wow, Rowie, you're so on point, you're so stylish, you're so in fashion. And then other people will say, oh, that was so last season. Well, I don't care what season it was, and I don't care whether it was in fashion this year or last year. And I've got a lot of clothes that have gone out of fashion and come back into fashion. And that's why people say, Rowie, you're so on point, your clothes are so fashionable. No, they're my style. Now, I'm sharing all of this with you because if you want to live your life to the max, if you want to feel fantastic every day, we can say that clothes don't matter. We can say that your body doesn't matter or the way you look doesn't matter. But of course, if you're a woman, you would probably agree with me that having a fat day is not that much fun. if you've got a poor coat hanger. So if you put clothes on and they don't look good on you, it's not a very nice feeling. You can have a wardrobe full of clothes and you'll hear somebody say, but I've got nothing to wear. It's not because you've got nothing to wear, there's plenty of clothes in there. It's just that they don't look good on you or you don't feel good wearing them. So what a great idea is to pick a size, pick a way you want to look. Obviously, strong muscles and bones and a healthy body is a great coat hanger. How about a smile is a great fashion accessory. Good posture comes from strong muscles and bones, and obviously clothes look better on a body that's got good posture versus... And this is something I always share with teenage girls in particular, because a tall teenage girl that's got big boobies will often stand like this because she wants to be shorter and she wants to cover her boobies. Girls that are shorter and have little boobies or no boobies will still often sit like this because they don't want to show off their chest because they haven't got one. Well, I always share this. It doesn't matter whether you've got big boobies or small ones. If you've got rounded shoulders, they're facing downwards, which means that's not a very good position for anybody's boobies. Now, it doesn't matter what they look like naked, but if you want them to look better with clothes on, surely posture is going to make it better. So, here's a great question. Who teaches fashion, style, clothing, presentation, etiquette anymore? I'm not sure it's ever taught anywhere. But this is the very special message that I got from my client, who's was not only a fashion designer but ended up in the Hall of Fame for fashion designing. Rowie, pick your style and stick with it. Don't change to suit the fashion, and make sure that everything in your cupboard, anything you put on at any time, looks good on you, makes you feel good. And there's a great reason for that. If you're a person who travels, and I used to travel the world on a very regular basis, so I would often go from hot to cold. A lot of people have summer clothes that they don't fit into in winter because they get a little bit chubby in the winter, and then they can wear their summer clothes when they've lost a little bit of weight. They hide inside their winter jacket or their winter clothes. But here's a really great idea. If you're in the middle of winter and somebody gives you tickets to go to a tropical island and wear a bikini or to wear summer clothes, wouldn't it be nice that you didn't have to go on a crash diet to get into great shape, or you didn't have to say no to the trip because your body was in great shape? So again, if it's the middle of summer and somebody says, would you like to go skiing, or would you like to go snowboarding, or would you like to go to a cold place, that you could put on winter clothes, your ski gear. And often ski gear is, depending on whether you snowboard or ski, but skiing clothes are usually very tight fitting, and you need to have a good coat hanger to look good in them. So wouldn't it be nice to travel anywhere in the world at any time, knowing that your clothes, whether they're winter or summer, whether it's hot weather or cold weather, whether it's daytime or nighttime, that whatever you wear is going to make you feel good. And surely the only way to do that, and I think there's three things: get fit, get strong, and make sure you've got a positive attitude. Because that would be my last question. I'm sure you've met people who are stunningly gorgeous, males and females, and they might have great posture and great hair, skin and nails, and they've got a beautiful body and ripped abdominals and tight butt cheeks, but they're ugly because they're negative, nasty, gossiping, horrible people, or they don't know how to smile, or they just don't have that X factor of loving their life. So it doesn't matter how you look, and I'm sure you're the opposite. I'm sure you've met people who aren't technically beautiful according to the fashion magazines, but they've just got great posture and they've got a happy, positive attitude, and they just like who they are because they've got strong self-esteem and self-confidence. So even if they're not technically beautiful or great shape, or they don't have tight butt cheeks, they still look fantastic because they like who they are. So how about we stay away from the fashion? And of course, if you love fashion, go for it. There's millions of people in the world, obviously, that love to change their clothes on a regular basis. But my only question is this: why would you have anything in your cupboard that doesn't suit you? Why not have everything in your cupboard that when you put it on, it makes you feel good? And isn't that interesting? Because my fashion designer asked this question. He said, is it possible that you've got one article of clothing in your cupboard that it's a go-to article, because when you wear that, it makes you feel good? And usually most people have got at least one of those. But his suggestion was that everything in your cupboard should make you feel like that, and you shouldn't have any clothes in your cupboard that don't right this minute look fantastic and make you feel fantastic. And great body, not great body, whatever's going on inside your body and outside, is it possible that a positive attitude and a beautiful smiley face can add a beautiful fashion accessory, a beautiful style to everything that you wear and everything that you do. So positive attitude, and of course I'll just wrap that all up. Get some fresh air and sunshine every day. Get puffed every day, because if you want to feel good and look good, obviously you need to be fit. You can't puff hard, you can't work hard if you don't have strong muscles and bones. So make sure you do some strength training to maintain that beautiful posture and a strong immune system so you don't get sick. Because obviously if you're really sick, you don't look very good in your clothes either, and you don't want to go out anywhere. But ultimately, living your life to the max is being you. So remember that fashion is designed to go out of style. Style doesn't go out of fashion, and what is your style, so that you can live your life to the max. Yeah.